What's up, everybody? Jackson here, and today I'd like to talk about Fortnite, a very interesting title from Epic Games. Interesting, I say, compared to the Paragon. That's what I'm most familiar with them, and obviously Unreal. But this is the thing about Fortnite, is it's radically different from Paragon in aesthetic feel. And I feel like it's definitely falling into the vein of what all these other games are doing. It's just that cartoony, artistic, style that I think is because mobile games and like the way that they have marketed themselves and the way that they've designed themselves to be sort of, aesthetically more to a younger audience. And so I think bright colors, cartoony stuff like that. And I'm not saying that this can't be enjoyed by adults. Trust me, I still watch cartoons. There's still cartoons I enjoy. I'm just saying this is definitely more so a draw for younger people, younger minds, people who haven't really caught on to kind of this what's been going on with video games. And it's kind of the same reason you see in PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, this game that is in early access, that the developer said wouldn't fucking put in these loot boxes that you could only get with real life money, right? Said he wouldn't do it, did it anyway, and I know why he did it, because they're killing. Okay, so these things are just kind of to be expected from a younger audience because they've just grown up with it on the mobile games, on all sorts of games. It's just kind of always been there, right? These microtransactions, they're not going away. They're a common staple now. It's just like DLC and season passes that everyone was like, God, this is fucking what the fuck? And then we were just like, oh, okay. And now it's the microtransactions. And the thing about the microtransactions that's way trickier than the expansion passes and things like that is the expansion passes were adding real content to the game, not simply just, different looks for your character and things such as that. But now we've moved beyond that with the cosmetics to now where it's actually gameplay affecting items that are held in these RNG based loot systems. And the problem with that is it's a wall that only the fucking whale, only the hardcore casino addict, like the people who want the random roll, the thrill of getting that good loot, it's that sort of system that it's only going to attract those type of people. And the shitty thing about it is that by attracting those kind of people, the whales, what have you, whatever you want to refer to these people as, these people are spending enough that it doesn't fucking matter if the rest of us forego a day one purchase price. Like Shadow of Mordor, or Shadow of whatever the fuck, Shadow of Microtransaction, the latest Lord of the Rings abomination, that game will do great business with those microtransactions, right? That game's gonna do, even if it flops, it's gonna do great deals on the microtransactions. It would have to flop as hard as Mass Effect Andromeda for it to even see a noticeable impact, and I doubt it will because it's got Lord of the Rings on the fucking cover, so it's gonna do fine. This game is gonna do great. It's a game that's now intricately tied them into it, and now that we've gotten, that's kind of basically what Fortnite has done. But we'll get there. Let's talk about the gameplay first, because the gameplay really is quite impressive what they've done. They've streamlined a 7 Days to Die sort of experience, where when my brother had early access to this before I did, I was asking him questions. He was having a hard time explaining it to me because I'm unfamiliar with what it's just, when you get into this, it's completely different from anything you've played along this vein. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't pull inspiration from a lot of different places, but it's pretty incredible the way that they've pulled these inspirations, they've been able to combine it into Fortnite, and it's a very unique experience. The hero class system is pretty nice. They've got like a soldier, forgive me if I forget one. I usually end up using the soldier or the ninja class, but there's also a constructor class which buffs the buildings, which is a very key part in the game. You're always going to want to build like a base, because most of these objectives in the main missions are you defend a point, right? But the missions, I'll get into that in a second. I want to go into these hero classes a little bit. But so you got heroes within the vein of soldier that start with a different ability and actually end up feeling a lot different as you progress, and they unlock other abilities as you're able to evolve them and level them up through the XP that is most commonly found in the reward boxes at the end of missions. So, and the one thing I've noticed, and I'd have to say right now, interject, I feel like these loot boxes, when you do get the XP, it kind of feels like it's dribbled out. It's been hard for me with how much I've been playing to level the amount of heroes I feel like I should have been able to level. And we're going to get into the problem with the heroes in a minute though. But for the most part, I think that's a major problem. I feel like you don't get enough XP. It'd be nice to get a little bit more XP. Maybe have some option that, you know, some command XP flows over into the hero that you're playing. Something like that. That would be great. Then you'd get some actual, you know, commander rank XP. So there's a commander rank which increases the available missions you're able to do and the difficulty of them as you progress through the main set of story missions. Okay, so let's get into the story missions. I just wanted to cover the classes. Basically, it feels like a 4-man class-based shooter against waves of zombies at this point, with some Fallout 4 building in it, but maxed out to perfection, and very simplified, but also very intricate in what you can do and pull off with this. And the sort of structures you'll be able to build with this are insane. You'll be able to build as high as you want. It felt like to me, I was building very high. I never felt like I hit a point where it didn't want me to stop building up. So I feel like this game has a lot going for it in that aspect. So your basic mission is like, go find this, defend it. You know, this could be anything from a van trying to take off into space, fucking rocket trying to take off. There's all sorts of them. There's, you know, or save X amount of survivors. And survivors are always on the map. They're what you would call like side objectives that are available while you're doing the mission. You'll be able to find survivors, save them, get a little reward. One thing I've noticed is nothing that feels really special. I feel like I'm almost willing to let the survivors die and continue on my way, because I usually find better items by salvaging than I ever do from getting, you know, rewards for these side objectives within the overall current mission. And so those are available as you're going about, and it starts out, you're gonna, you know, scavenge, and then you're gonna have 3 points of basically a team score. That'll be on your right hand screen. One is building, one is how much you've salvaged, and one is how many zombies you've killed. And as this increases, it'll go from bronze to silver to gold, and this will increase your chances of getting a higher level loot box at the end of the mission, which as far as I can tell makes diddly fucking difference anyway. You usually end up maybe just getting a few hundred more XP if you get XP, maybe a few more followers if you get followers or whatever. And those things I still don't even quite understand. There's all sorts of weird things going on with the menu. It's a game that wants you to look at menus. It's a game that wants you to spend a lot of time looking at things and really thinking about things that are just equal out to passive bonuses. Which is, I don't know. It's not bad, it's interesting, and it's another level of, you know, character progression in a way, but at the same time it can be a little annoying when you're just wanting to run missions, but you keep getting these pop-ups of new things, and there's exclamation points, and you have to go through and scroll through, and you know what I mean. Always drove me nuts about Battleborn. They always did that in Battleborn, and at the end of an update, always if they did an update and I turned it on, they'd just be boom! Exclamation points on everything that I've already earned, that I've already seen. It drove me fucking nuts, and you have to actually click and scroll over it, and it's like, just goddamn. Anyway, sorry. Mini ran about exclamation points informing you that you have things that you know you have done. So at the end of the mission, you'll find the objective, and if it's a defend point, you're going to want to build. And the building in this, like I said, it's like the Fallout 4 building, but perfected. And, you know, you can just, what I usually do with my brother, we just whip up a quick fort, unless the other guys are there and they're taking the lead, because it is a 4-player, you know, and you just, it's matchmaking, and a match usually lasts about anywhere from 10 to 15, 20 minutes. I've never had a match go longer than 20 minutes, always in that time window, you know what I mean? And if a match has gone longer than that, it's when I'm at my storm base building up my defenses, which is another very cool thing. Periodically, as you're leveling up, you'll be required to go back to your home base to expand the storm shield. This is basically representative in the game. It's you pushing the storm away to basically clear more land so more survivors can have safe place to, you know, a safe haven, because this storm has turned everyone into zombies. And so you'll be defending, you know, the shield generator that's generating the shield and kind of powering it up, and you know, so you'll build structures, and the amount of things you can build in your home base is insane. And as far as I've seen some crazy people online that have built some insane things. I haven't really played around with it too much myself, but still I've been able to build like a pretty impressive, I'd say, you know, outline of kind of what I want to do with a castle, like moving up into the sky at various points with lots of spires and things, you know. And it's been built out of a lot of different things, but you see where I'm going with this, and it's very fun to play around with. It's very much the same sort of enjoyment I got out of Fallout 4's, you know, building. I feel like it's kind of annoying how much you have to stop and get more materials, and it takes a while you're on missions and stuff to accrue these materials. At the end of the mission, of course, there's usually a defend point, so if you know you're with someone who doesn't want to build, you're going to end up building and you're going to end up using your materials. And so it's kind of like a, you know, you got to give up one material to use another, and materials will always fall under wood, brick, and metal. And that's the different types of structures you can build made out of either brick, metal, or wood. Very fun, though. Very fun. Now let's get to the bit that I don't like. I don't like these cute little piñata fucking loot boxes. I don't like them. I don't like them because I feel like I'm not getting... So as a founder, I think they gave me a bunch, right, for free. They just... You know, here you go. You know, that's how they get you, though. They comp you some and they get you addicted to it. I'm not very susceptible to this. I'm not spending money on this game. Like, this is the thing about me. I know that there are games that I haven't played that are $10 and under. I know there are games that I haven't played that I own already. So there's no reason for me to throw, you know, X amount of dollars at a game to get, you know, a chance, just a chance of something good. And that's my huge problem with this. I feel like with the heroes, I opened all of these loot boxes plus all the loot boxes up to the second area of the game. I'm just starting the second area of the game now, and I haven't got a single legendary hero. I've gotten legendary followers and legendary things that just don't, you know, legendary weapons that I couldn't build and that I looked up and was told I wouldn't be getting mats for until way late in the game. So I just put them in my collection book, which is basically a stamp collection, which makes you eat the legendary schematic. So you can choose between, oh, well, I get a loot box as a reward. And I'm not going to be able to build, you know, with this legendary, so I might as well just put it in here. But then you lose it forever, and I feel like that's kind of shitty. I feel like the collection thing could just be if you've earned it and it's in your collection, you know what I mean? Not that you have to give it up. I feel like that's very stupid. I feel like that's a very gimmicky way to try to get people to buy more of your stupid cute piñatas. And this is I'm going into full-blown rap mode, and that's basically not directed at Epic Games or Fortnite at all. It's kind of, I'm fucking putting it towards all of them, okay? These things are fucking ridiculous. Just sell people like full things, like just sell people what they want to buy. This is the problem. This is where we've gotten, is we've come to a point now where as gamers we're actually fucking begging for DLC. Because these motherfucking microtransaction RNG loot boxes have buried like a huge portion of the content in games that we would like to see, that we would like to play around with. And that's a major problem in Fortnite. Because like I said, the only way you can get legendaries is out of these piñatas. And it's very random. I never got a legendary hero out of all of the free ones they gave me. And so all my heroes are kind of subpar. You got to get a legendary hero, and that affects how far you can level it up. How much HP he gets, how much shield they get, how much, you know, damage they do. You know, it makes a difference having a legendary hero. And the problem with the way they've set this up is it's very aesthetically geared towards a more younger audience. It's, you know, geared towards a less mature audience that wanting to spend money on these things. It has very short, simple gameplay. I'm sorry, like, after playing it for a while, all the, you know, good I said about it, that still stands. But me and my brother have played it probably less than 20, 30 hours, and we're already starting to feel burned out on it. Because the structures of the missions are much the same. They're fun, they're definitely a good time, but we could see how they could get, you know, sort of samey after a while. Especially with these side objectives that really don't give you shit. These rewards at the end that really don't give you shit. You know, all of these things, and it feels like These pinatas sure are cute. Man, these pinatas sure are fun to open. Huh. And this is where I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna say this though. Okay. Paragon is a game also by Epic Games. And I would argue that when I log into Paragon now, I get tons more free shit. I feel like when I log in, there's like a chest for me, and they're like, here's a daily reward for you, and it's some currency, and I get all this shit. I've been able to buy a couple of skins. I've been able to, unlock skins through this monthly vault they have, where if you play X amount of hours and get like, it's not hours, it's if you just log in and do the daily quests, they give you these star coins. As that increases, once you increase it all the way, you get a roll on a chest, or get a roll on either, 2 legendary skins, 4 characters, or like a bunch of XP boost chests, stuff like that. And so I've actually won a skin out of that. And so this is where I feel like I have to keep this in mind when I'm talking about this game, because it is very early on. And with Paragon, it was not like that when I first started playing Paragon. It was not like that. You weren't getting things for free. You weren't getting things all the time. I feel like at a certain point with Paragon, they started to make a lot of money, so they've been giving it back. That's how it feels to me as a free-to-player who has several, like I think I have 3 or 4 or 5. Let's see, I got one for Gadget, I got one for Revenant, I got one for Iggy and Scorch, I've got one for Crux. Basically, so I've probably got around 4 or 5. So that said, yeah, I got one for Gideon too. Anyway, sorry, I'm trying to recollect how many, but that's the thing. I haven't that many in that game. I haven't given them a dime. I've played it for a very long time, enjoyed the play. So I truly believe at a certain point that Epic Games will start to give these loot boxes more. They'll start to give rewards as like epic heroes, legendary heroes even maybe. And a lot of this bite that I have towards these microtransactions in this game would probably go away if at some point during the course of the intro missions to the end game missions, you were able to choose from one of the 3 main, heroes, pick a legendary hero, one of, 3 really good legendary weapons, and one of 3, something else, like a trap or something. I don't know. But that would be great. Like, that would be great, because that would be like, no matter what, here's an incentive for the people who don't want to spend a ridiculous amount of money trying to play luck to see if they can get, the legendary hero they want. We'll just give them that hero, because we understand that these microtransactions are going to do business, and we're going to make a lot of money off of these. And it'd be nice to see a little bit of that good faith up front from Epic Games. And my only real criticism with this game is the focus on the loot boxes, the sort of RNG based system that keeps, things that you'll be hunting away from you, like many games do nowadays. There's always something in those things that someone wants. And like, if you're playing it for free and you get those, whatever, those 3 or 4 a fucking week that they give you, you want something good out of those, and you don't get anything good out of those. And some people have a bunch of money and they're just like, I'm gonna throw them a hundo, I'm gonna throw them 2 hundo. So these things are making business. So I feel like it would be a show of very good faith towards the community if Epic Games had an instance during the intro tutorial where they gave you a legendary hero of your choice out of like a choice of 3. You know what I mean? Just like the 3 main ones or the 4 main ones you have on the cover. Just give us a chance at one of those. And there's even a rarer hero for each class that isn't, it's like a unique. See? So there's still a higher goal to gain. There's still a reason to keep playing. There's still a reason for the whales to buy the loot boxes, because they are going to buy them anyway. And yeah, so would I recommend this game? I would recommend this game if it were free. I would say, guys, if you've got, a free weekend or a free day, you got time to play this and it's free, download it and play it. Then if you like it, give them 40, 50, whatever you think is fair for the amount of entertainment you're filling in the game. what you would pay for a day one purchase, right? See what you get. If you're fucking crazy, this is where I'm gonna say it. Like, I feel like at a certain point, Epic Games will do right with this, and they will give a lot more back. Like, I've seen that personally in Paragon, having played that since way long time ago till now. I really feel like and not only that, they've updated it constantly. They've smoothed out a lot of edges. They've streamlined gameplay. I mean, and Fortnite already has a new update announced for either at the end of this month or the beginning of next month. So they're already giving back. You know what I mean? That's awesome. I truly believe Epic Games is one of those companies that aren't gonna just bungee you to death. That's the best description I can ever hope to come up with, is bungee you to death. Anyway, guys, fucking love you. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got some info that will help you out on your decision. Like I said, though, the gameplay is solid. It's very fun. They've streamlined that, you know, survival zombie, you know, experience. They've streamlined it. They've made it look pretty great. They've added pretty good fun shooting mechanics. There's, you know, there's heroes that have like a Titan smash, you know what I mean? So it's got some good shit in it. It's got some fun shit in it. It's definitely worth playing. I just would say, personally, as a $40 founder, I feel like I could have probably accrued the same amount of things I have now if I had just waited and played it for free. So that would be my suggestion. Wait, play it for free. They just had an update a while back where they actually wiped people's home base from the floor up. So if you had spent like however long, you know, building it, that would be gone. And so it might just pay to wait anyway. It might just pay to wait, because if that happens, you know, and you've spent, you know, the majority of if you're one of those people who just loves building bases and things like that, like, I mean, I truly enjoy it. I could sit there, if they gave me unlimited resources, like that could be a game to me. Like, I could just sit there and fuck off and build that base. You know, if it's like this base, not like the shit one in No Man's Sky, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, anyway, so it's fun, but you build that and then it wipes. It pays to wait. So just wait, play it for free. Till next time, keep kicking ass, guys. Stay smart, and always remember that I truly fucking do love each and every one of you. Talk to you next time.